Guys, like, comment, subscribe, please share the video, especially if you're an MMA fan. Speaking of MMA, apparently Jorge Masvidal is talking about fighting Gilbert Burns next. They both kind of traded shots on social media and stuff like that. Now let's talk about how Jorge Masvidal could beat Gilbert Burns, not Brian Burns from the Panthers. Sorry about that, but shout out to Brian Burns, a former Florida State player. People forget Jorge Masvidal is primarily a striker, but they also forget that even though he's not an elite level grappler, wrestler, he's always had problems with them. He's been able to do exceptionally well against good grapplers, above average grapplers, you know. And even though I know Gilbert Burns is not that level of grappler, he's a higher level than that. Gilbert Burns is willing to keep this fight standing if he has to, okay? He dropped Khamzat Chimaev. He's knocked guys out. He rocked Kamaru on the feet. So, if anything, he's probably willing to stand with Jorge Masvidal because he actually had more success with Kamaru than Jorge did in 2 fights. Nothing against Jorge, but that also plays into Jorge's game plan. See, Jorge Masvidal is really good at filling guys out on the feet. He's good at moving out of the way when someone's hitting him. And what helps him with Gilbert is the fact that Gilbert is, I'm not going to say take this fight lightly, but he kind of sees this as a rebound fight for him because he's coming off the Khamzat loss. Gilbert's a top 5 guy. So for Jorge to win this fight, clearly he needs to keep this fight standing. He needs to have his takedown defense. If he can hold Gilbert to 1 or 2 takedowns, maybe 3 takedowns in a 3-round fight, I doubt this will be a 5-round fight given that Jorge's coming off 3 losses, even though I know he's going to sell. If he can do that and get the better of the stand-up, I think he has a chance to win this fight. Now, if it goes the distance, can he win this fight? Probably not. Not that I'm saying it would be a one-sided decision, but we've seen kind of close fights that he's had with Al Iaquinta, Damian Maia, and other fights in his career. These 3 or 4 times where he's had decision fights, even Paul Daly, when it went to distance, and many people thought the fight could have gone his way. Coulda, shoulda, woulda. It didn't, unfortunately, you know, coming from a Masvidal fan. So, for him to win this fight, he clearly needs to win a knockout. And if it does go to a decision, he has to win 2 rounds. He needs to keep this fight standing. He needs to be able to keep this fight. I wouldn't say he has to clinch Gilbert. I would say he doesn't need to do that. He needs to be able to stand in the pocket, hit him a few times, move, do some body kicks, leg kicks. He needs to be simple, but not simple predictable. Okay? Meaning don't just do jabs and punches like he does a lot of the times. He needs to be willing to stand, leg kicks, body kick, body shot, jab, throw off Gilbert on the feet, win the 1st round, do the same thing in the 2nd round, keep your distance. And the longer the fight goes for him, I would say keep his distance after he's been landing the better of the shots. I think he can do that. It's also possible he can knock out Gilbert Burns. We forget Jorge Masvidal has 16 knockouts in his career. So if Jorge wins this fight, he can easily get a knockout like he did with Darren Till. That's very possible. I think he's not really more dangerous on the feet than most guys. Not to saying he's not dangerous, but he also has a lot of knockout power in his hands. You can ask Darren Till. No one ever knocks out Darren Till. He's been struggling lately, but he still hasn't been knocked out. He's been submitted, but never been KO'd like that. So for Jorge to win this fight, it's very simple. He needs to get a knockout by the early mid 2nd round. That's what I say he needs to do, which he can do. But Jorge can win this fight.